Okay. So today we're going to speak about Rosh Hashanah. We are really few days before. You know, the first day it's Saturday on Shabbat, second day on Sunday. On Saturday you don't use the shofar because of Shabbat, but it's actually the Shabbat helps us even higher level than when we use the shofar. And on Sunday it's the easier judgment, not the hard judgment, the softer judgment. That's going to be on Sunday. We're going to blow the shofar, and we're going to talk about it as we go. So the first thing we need to really ask, what do we want to get from Rosh Hashanah? Well, what can we get from Rosh Hashanah? Then what do I have to do while I'm in the time? Doesn't matter if a person goes or not going to hear the shofar or whatever, just what do I need to get, and what does it Rosh Hashanah what's going to do for me? So I'm going to go through the whole thing, but the first thing to know that we need at least one value to add to our lives. When we have a high value, then we can work with it. It can help me in many different things in life. If we're just going to come Rosh Hashanah, another Rosh Hashanah, and whatever we do as a habit, or because we have fear, if I'm not going to do it, what's going to happen? It doesn't work this way. So Rosh Hashanah, it's the words itself is Rosh, the head. Shana, of course, in Hebrew it means year, but it means change. So automatically I have to say to myself, I'm going to start the new change. It's not like Rosh Hashanah comes, passed, and I have the change. No. We're going to start the change. Means I'm going to take some kind of commitment or add value to my life, and I'm going to start working with that to have change. If not, it's not going to work. Just by thinking that Rosh Hashanah is here, or I'm attending or not attending Rosh Hashanah physically or whatever. And that's the first thing that we need to know. Okay? Then we need to know why it says, okay? It says clearly in Bereshit, okay, בחודש השביעי, באחד לחודש, מקרא קודש יהיה לכם, כל מלאכת עבודה לא תעשו, יום תרועה יהיה לכם. So it says, actually, not Bereshit, I meant something else, in the book of Shmot, that it's the Rosh Hashanah, it's the month, the 7th month. So why? Why do we have Rosh Hashanah in the 7th month and not the 1st month? And I hope you know, the 1st month it's actually Passover. So we need to look at it this way. Passover, it means it's the holiday of freedom from negativity. That's the Chametz. We have 6 months that we have to go through the whole thing, the cleansing, really to be free. So if I'm still angry, I'm still reactive, I'm still upset, I'm still depressed, whatever it is, I'm not. So did I go through Passover? Yes, but I'm not there yet. I need another year. Okay. But Rosh Hashanah, it's like giving birth. It means it's already what I'm going to receive for a year. It's like a business getting a loan. So that's why it's the 7th month, because always we have 7 days, okay? We have 7 seas, we have 7 layers in the atmosphere, 7 music notes. There is so many different 7 continents. 7 means the connection between the higher world that some of us know, the names is Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, And with the word that we live in, called Malchut, the word of action, the minute they are together, it's 6 and 1, it's 7. It's not by coincidence we have 7 days a week. It's all about 7. There is so much teaching about the 7. But it's not for today, but now we kind of knowing. 7, it means it's something that already gonna manifest in my life. You don't want blessing to be potentially. You want blessing to be part of your life. Because if it's potentially, it's not good enough. We know it, and that's what we want. So Rosh Hashanah, it's like a court, Beit Din. So the destiny of each one will be determined in Rosh Hashanah, where it's going to be. Where do I go? I mean, I hate to say it, but it says clearly in the Siddur, whoever is praying, it says who's for death and who's for life. Who's going to be poor? Who's going to be rich? Who's going to drown? Who's going to be alive? I mean, so many different words that we're saying it. It's part of the prayer. So it means this is the time that we actually getting life. It's not easy to understand what I'm going to say now, but in a way, up to Friday, that Friday night, it's Rosh Hashanah, up to Friday, it means we all kind of dead. Now we're receiving new life for a year. So every year the system starts from the beginning. You're using it, hopefully that you did what you promised to do. That's why hard judgment and the soft judgment. Hard judgment means what I promised before I was born. And the soft judgment means all the things that I'm dealing on a daily basis that I promise and I know, and things that I needed to do, I didn't do, or it's still in the process. So all that, it's Rosh Hashanah. So we all want new year. Think about it. New year. Can it be that I'm going to get a new year and the main actor of the movie that we live in still dwelling with the past, with the old stuff? I need to upgrade myself as I'm going to a new year. I can't go to a new year with my old me. I hope we understand it. I mean, it's really funny that we don't think this way. We say to people, Happy New Year or Shana Tova. According to what? According to the main actor, me, that's gonna do what I need to do to upgrade myself to the new year. I cannot stay backwards. I cannot be the old me. And that's really why it's the 7th month, because we coming to a new year. We have to look at the year that was, especially this one, was not so easy still. We're still going on with the corona, and they are not sure what's going to happen and how long it's going to be. And we need to have so much patience and so much power. Some people already collapsed. Some people already got destroyed because of it. So we are disappointed about this and that. We are disappointed because things didn't go according to my plan. We have so much pain and we have this and that. I mean, I can go through so many things, and we want to be happy. We all want to be happy. So the thing is that Rosh Hashanah, it's actually the opportunity that we have, each one of us. We have an opportunity to re-script our own movie, to actually choose the movie that I want to be in. I cannot say, I don't know where that movie came into my... No. It's in my hand. It's supposed to be under our control. It's not like, surprise! this year it's going to be this way. No, it's not a surprise. That's why they gave us a month of tshuva, and they gave us 2 days of Rosh Hashanah every year from the beginning. We cannot continue just doing it and we don't change. How many people you know that did all this month slichot, and they come home and they still screaming at the wife or the kids, and they still angry and still upset? I mean, so what did you do? And what they going to answer? What does it have to do with the slichot? Of course, the first thing is that I can forgive myself, and I'm clean and I'm free of anything that bothers me. Why will people get upset? Why? We get upset because all the memory from the past, called reshimo in Aramaic, still there. We don't know how to clean it. And we need to clean it. We get every year to clean it, and every year we bring all the past, all the old, all the junkyard of our lives into the new year. And then we are surprised. Okay? So it's an opportunity to create order. Okay? In Hebrew, seder, it means disorder. It means chaos. And what do we need to do? Order. Order in my life, order in the universe, order in everything that surrounds me. Order. And how all the prayers of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, but especially Rosh Hashanah, through the order of the Aleph Bet. Every sentence starts with Aleph, Bet, or the opposite also, Taf to Aleph. It means to give us the opportunity to understand. I created so much chaos with my words. I have the opportunity with words of order to create order. So it's not just I walk into a synagogue or whatever people do. Today, we're going to do it in a tent outside or whatever, but I'm not talking about the physicality. I'm saying I'm coming and I'm saying, okay, I did slichot or I did Rosh Hashanah and I'm okay. No. According to what? What is it that we need to do? So I said, but I'm going to go more elaborated. We need a value. Of course, we need more than one, but at least to add one. And that's why the meaning of Rosh Hashanah, it's the head of a change. It's a holiday that is from the Torah. The Torah tells us exactly the date, exactly what to do. It's like instruction how to do. So if we say, but don't forget, what's the Torah on one leg? Like it says in the Talmud, like Hillel says, V'ahavta kamocha. So it's about love. So it can't be that Rosh Hashanah, it's nothing to do with love. The opposite, it's even more. Rosh Hashanah, it's going back in time to the time of Mount Sinai that they used the shofar on the mountain. It says clearly. It's to go back at that time that we promised to each other. All for one, one for all. That's what we promised. Because we promised that we're going to help each other and we're going to care for each other, same as I'm going to care for me, we receive the Torah, not the opposite. So here, of course, for some of us, it's like, really? Well, let me tell you that I didn't know it too. And when I start reading and I start to understand that it was not so simple for me to swallow it, it says, really? I thought we received the Torah to be good people. And here it says the opposite. Because we accepted all for one, one for all, we received the Torah. So here, it's all about love. And to understand love, it's not so easy because that's by itself, it's a subject that we can study so many classes. But we have to know that we have Rosh Hashanah It's actually to help us. We need to use it, to look at it as a tool. Okay? Because even if you go to the Talmud, you go to the Zohar, you go anywhere, you'll see that it says for all the people in the world. All the people in the world are under the judgment in the time of Rosh Hashanah. It says clearly, Kol bnei ha'olam nidonim. Kulam. Only that we've been chosen to do the work, and hopefully we can do the work for all the people in the world. But if we cannot do it ourselves, it means we are not in unity. We cannot have tolerance to each other. We don't have human dignity to each other. How can we give it to anybody? You can't give what you don't have. And that's why we study in the book of Matan Torah, okay, the gift of the Bible, it says mutual responsibility with everybody. Because don't forget, before Mount Sinai, it was not even one name of any religion. It was people. Who was Abraham? Who was Isaac and Jacob? Those first three. And then David. That's how we blow the shofar. 30 Abraham, 30 blowing of Isaac. Who those people? It was not Judaism. Judaism started only after Mount Sinai. So who those people? So the Torah doesn't lie to us. Abraham was the son of idol worshiper. And he woke up after 75 years old. So that's why we need to blow the shofar on the name of Abraham, the first 30. It's to remove the idol worship that we do so many ways. Okay? We are addicted to so many things, spiritually and physically. Okay? So now that we're getting it kind of, we have to know that this month, it's the month of Libra, the scale. Either we're going to do things that's going to help the world, of course, us and the world, and we're going to go and we're going to tilt the scale to good, to positive, and not to anything bad and destruction. And it's up to every one of us counts. And you know, in the gift of the Bible, they call us like sesame. Imagine, each one of us, it's like a sesame. You had another one, you don't see much. And then one more sesame, tilt. So I want to make sure that I'm on the right side. And hopefully we understand, because what does it mean, Bereshit? The word Bereshit, it means created 6. So those 6 days, 6,000 years that we are already in, it means Bereshit, back to the future, because every time we come to a holiday, we say, Bayamim Haem, those days, Bazman Hazeh, in this time. So we have an opportunity to go back in time, because the word Bereshit, same letters as Aleph, Bet, Tishrei, same letters. So Bereshit, beginning, and Aleph Bet Tishrei, it's the first day of the month Tishrei, that is Rosh Hashanah. So here we're starting to get the understanding. We have a year, it's a circle that goes again and again and again and again. That's why they call it Chag, Huga, it means it's a circle. There is energy that's circling the year, and we have to make sure that we are the one that making sure that there is enough energy for each one of us to sustain ourselves and our business and our family for another year. Next year we'll have to deal with the year after. But we have to make sure, because we say good news, right? Good news, it means there is amazing, everything is good. But when there is bad news, What does it mean? Means that I can rewind and fix it? No. I had the chance. I didn't pay attention. I didn't know. It's all good, yes, whatever we answer ourselves. But come on, there is system here. I mean, we know how a tree grows and we know how baby comes to this world. It means there is system about everything. The way we breathe, the way we eat, the way this, the way that. I mean, everything is a system. And we need to already surrender and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to work with the system, not against the system. So Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, it's to help us work with the system, because Rosh Hashanah, it's to help me to continue. We have so much. We have to enjoy, we have to appreciate everything we have. So much. And we can't just get used to things and take things for granted. And that's why the month before Rosh Hashanah, it's Tshuva. Go back in time to the time of Mount Sinai. Come on, do something. Think about others. Think about what you can do. And that's why when we say slicha, forgiveness, or forgive me, or whatever, first, you need to forgive yourself. Because really, when we get upset, mainly about ourselves more than anybody else, because we get upset that we make mistakes, or we didn't do the right decision, or we didn't do the right thing, or even we get upset that we were angry at someone and then we saying, I'm sorry. But the thing is, we do it again, and we do it again and again and again. Come on. When you say slicha, it means I'm sorry. You have to back up the words that you said. You cannot continue doing it and saying slicha. So we have a month to look inside and to say, you know what? I cannot do many, it's okay. But do one thing, even one thing. When we still have a few days, one thing that you promise yourself, you know what? Enough. I'm going to use a value. Let's say appreciation, it's a value. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to take it. You don't have to take only that. We had classes about values, but take one and work with it. And when you work with one value, something, your life's going to be better, and people around you is going to be happy that you're starting really something new in your life. You're going to be happy about it too. It's not just someone's going to be happy that you made some changes, some transformation. And this is going back in time. And when we say in Hebrew, slach, you know, when we say forgiveness, in Hebrew it's also hasel. If we rearrange the letters, those three letters, it means to remove. Totally, to remove those negativities, it means to cleansing. Cleansing. And I'm going to go through something that it's not so easy to understand, because we don't study those kind of things all the time, but we need to understand how it works. How, what we say, the balance that we are wishing for, that's going to be for us and for the world, how does it work? Okay, so just to go briefly and simple, I hope, even if it's not so easy to understand all those words for some people, but we live in the world that's called Malchut, as I said, the world of action, and above us there is 6 levels that called Zir and Pin, small face. There is Arich and Pin, that it's Keter Chochma Bina. Zir and Pin is Chesed Gvura Tiferet Netzach Hod Yesod. Zir and Pin is like a buffer. Every day, by the way, every day of the year, this buffer, Zir and Pin, is cleaning the negativity so we can start a new day. מחדש בטובו בכל יום תמיד מעשה בראשית. Just, if negativity wouldn't be removed every day, believe me, the chaos that we see, tsunami or earthquake or the corona or whatever, any pandemic, or It's nothing compared to what supposed really to be. So the Zirampin cleaning, buffer, clean. What happened is, this is Bekes Leyom Hagenu. It's concealed. Zirampin is sleeping, is concealed. Bekes, concealed. We don't have Zirampin those 2 days. What are you going to do? So Malchut goes straight, Hey to Hey. Goes in the Yud Kevavke, in the name of God, Hey to Hey. It goes from Malchut to Binah, same letters. There is no Zirampin. There is no remote control. Okay? But Binah receives only from Zirampin, not from Malchut. But the Binah receiving it because there is no other thing. So what do we need to do still? What do we do? It's 2 things in the same ticket. When we blow the shofar, we awakening Zirampin. That's the first thing. Another thing that we need to know, we just said that we had a month of tshuva. It means whatever. I go back in time, I clean myself, I change something, I take some commitment, I do whatever. So why do we need Rosh Hashanah? Rosh Hashanah, to blow the shofar, it's already to remove the pain and suffering that we, even unintentionally, caused other people. Now we have to know, we hurting people even if we don't know that we do. When we know, not always, but sometimes we go and we say sorry, hopefully we don't repeat it. But what we gonna do when we hurt people that we don't even know that we did? Called quantum effect. Rosh Hashanah, it's for that. The 2 days, it's to remove all the pain that we did previous life, that's hard judgment. And the second day, it's for today life, for whatever we did. So we have to know, there is so many people that we hurt that we didn't even know that we did. Some of it, we didn't even have, of course, intention or whatever, but sometimes people says, you hurt me, and you sit like, really? What did I do? And we're not playing like we really don't know. We're not playing like Hollywood, we don't know that we're hurting people. That's why we need Rosh Hashanah. Because if we're gonna go into the year with all the pain that we caused other people, it's not gonna be good. After a while, when it's gonna accumulate, it's gonna be bad. That's why Rosh Hashanah, we have the ability to wake up Zirampin with the shofar, to remove all the negativity, and we're receiving a new year. So don't forget, Zirampin is a buffer for us every day. Every day. We don't even know it. We take it for granted. Even, let's say, a person doesn't even know nothing of what we just heard. Zirampin, Malchut, doesn't know. But the system's still working. You know, you don't know. Just because there is a seed in the ground and you don't see anything, doesn't mean it doesn't grow. Just because there is a sperm inside the womb of a woman and you don't see that she's pregnant, doesn't mean that she's not pregnant. We need to start seeing a little bit more. We cannot just think, only what I see, I believe. No, we have to believe what you don't see. It's even more. It's a 90% is what we don't see. What we see, it's very small percentage of what we have in this world. Imagine you see your body outside. The main parts, the most important parts for the body to function, it's inside. Can we tell the parts what to do or not to do? Do we know even how it works? You see, it's all concealed. We're looking, I don't know. I hope that all the cells doing the right thing. Hope. So at least to have the mindset on what we can do. And we need to know what not to do. That's why there is 613 precepts. What does it mean? 365 not to do, 248 to do. One of the 613 is equal to 612. You believe it? One. And what is it? V'ahavtacha kamocha. To love your friend as you love yourself. Wow. I mean, really, if I can do it, not so easy, but at least to have a desire for it, that's really good, especially to say, you know what, this year, this Rosh Hashanah, I'm going to promise to do much better because I need better life. I need to leave this world for the kids, for the next generation, a better world. Come on. Enough. We cannot just go and think, I'm religious, I'm going to hear the shofar, and my life is okay. It doesn't say listen to the shofar, it says Yodai Torah. You need to know the consciousness of every one of them. Yeah, and hopefully the person that blowing the shofar, I can read from the Zohar, it says clearly. I hope that he knows really what it is here. I'm gonna read in the Zohar. Let me see. Okay, so if you go to Vayikra, Leviticus, and 302, verse 302, it's always the same. In Hebrew it's Shin Bet. It says this: Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Abba, those two, the son of Rabbi Shimon and Rabbi Abba, they were sitting, and Rabbi Elazar said, ראיתי אבי ביום ראש השנה ויום הכיפורים שלא רצה לשמוע תפילה מכל אדם. He said, the son of Rabbi Shimon says, I saw my father that doesn't want to listen to the prayer or Yom Kippur of Rosh Hashanah from every person. Imagine. You think, who cares? Someone praying, let him pray. No, he says, I don't want to hear it from anyone. מכל אדם. אלא אם כן עמד עליו 3 ימים מקודם לתאר אותו. First, he wants to know that that person have some purity in him. That he will work with the person 3 days to make sure that it's clean. שרבי שמעון היה אומר כך, רבי שמעון, the order of the Zohar says, בתפילה של אדם הזה שאני מתארו, the person that I'm helping to purify him, מתחפר העולם. There is like kapara, it means cleansing for the whole world. כל שכן בתקיעת השופר, especially with the blowing of the shofar, שלא היה מקבל תקיעת אדם, he wouldn't listen to any blowing of the shofar, that שאינו חכם לתקוע. Look what he says, that he's wise to blow, not knows how to blow, that he's wise to blow. It means he knows what it, not like he knows what's the meditation, what is it, what I'm doing now, and there is so much. I mean, you can't just blow it, and that's why it's not so easy to blow the shofar, not physically and not spiritually, but both together, not easy. שאינו חכם לתקוע בכוונה, he says, with intention, with meditation, בסוד התקיעה, okay, in the secret of the blowing. So I just read one sentence that gives us so much. It's not just to hear it, because if it was just to hear, it means just for my ear to hear the blowing, I can record it, and every year I'm going to put it, and I heard it. So some people are going to say, no, but it's not. I'm going to pray, I'm going to hear. It's about to hear. He says it's about the person that he's wise to blow. Okay, I hope we understand. I'm not here. I didn't write the Zohar. I didn't write the Torah. I'm just saying we're not here to judge anybody. but we still need to know that it's not just something that it's not so important or it's like superficial or whatever. We need to use the shofar to open the gates, and there is a lock on the gates because bekes, it's concealed, and we need to know how to do it. Hopefully, always we say hopefully, that we're going to do it right. And that's why when we come to the time of Rosh Hashanah, the first day of Tishrei, it means Bereshit, it means opportunity. I need to make an effort to upgrade myself and to go higher, in at least one step higher than what I was before. One. I mean, of course, if you can do more than one, it's beautiful. But one. And one of the things that we need to ask ourselves, where I am, what level, and how long I'm in this level. And you know, by the way, it's not so hard to answer. It's not. I'm not talking about level like 1, 2, 3, or 4. Just, it means I know me, each one knows himself, and I know that even I thought about something that it's bothering me or bothering someone else, and I said to myself so many times that I have to stop behaving this way. And what happened? Continues. So if it continues, it means I didn't step up. So if you know that you are already whatever age that you are, of course previous life too, because if you came to this world, it means you came to do tikkun, correction. It means previous life you also were even a little bit worse than now. So now if you're still in the same place, so you know at least that it's too long. So it's a gift to know and to say enough is enough. I need to upgrade myself one more step. And everyone knows something about himself that he's already feel tired of it. Enough. And that's really the whole thing, to step up. And one of the ways to know that I'm stepping up, of course, it's the behavior, absolutely. It's the action, the way we act. But look at some people, choose anyone, of course, the hardest one, it's the best, that it's hard for you to do unity with that person. Ask yourself how long it was the separation and how long you're trying to do it, or you're saying to yourself you're trying. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're not even doing the right moves. But at least this way you know, if there is no unity, there is a problem. Rabbi Ziklura says in his books of prayers, Shava Kavanot Aleph and Bet, he says when a person is praying and he have a dispute or hatred for someone, his prayers doesn't go anywhere. Why does he say something like that? Because he wants us to already understand that the word in Hebrew, at least, Bet Knesset, it means house of gathering. It means we can each one coming to the same place, but everyone praying for who? For himself. Okay, I need to pray for myself, but I need to have a list that I'm praying for other people, but not only praying. See, call them, see what you can do. I don't have to be maybe busy all day with that, but I need to be busy with that a little bit. We need to help. And when we help, the fulfillment that we get, it's much more than to be busy with myself. Okay? So that's how we need to understand. Then, when we come to Rosh Hashanah, there is words that we have to recite together in some point. Of course, the first day and the second day, same words. and Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. It says, Utfila, Utshuva, Utzedaka, Ma'virin et roa gzera. So a person have to know that he need to pray clean heart for the right purpose. Pray, it means I'm really asking myself to transform. That's praying. I'm asking the light force as an energy to support me until I'll do it, but I'm not praying to God that He's going to do it for me. Cannot. I have to do it. The second one is tshuva. I've been far away from where I'm supposed to be. Means I promised, even if I don't know, on Mount Sinai or even previous life, that I'm going to be better and I'm going to help and I'm going to give and I'm going to do this, and I forgot. Tashuv hey. So, okay, you know what? I'm going to come back, like back to the future. You go back, you see what was the mistake, and you go to the future a better person. That's tshuva, by the way. And then tzedakah comes from the word tzedek, justice. I need to give for some good cause, for something that can help more people. And I need to be involved in it, not just giving it and I don't know what they do. I need to be, let's say, a student like I'm now, and I'm involved in that. You know what? I want to help the Havayah. I want to help. But if you're helping someone, you have to be part of it. You cannot just help and feel good about yourself. You have to know what they are doing. And you need to be part of it. And that's why it's called justice. Tzedakah, it means you take the hay that in this portion before Rosh Hashanah, there is a big hay that Abraham received also at the beginning, that helping us to do the transformation. You add the hay to tzedek, justice, and become tzedakah. Person comes to this world only because he did mistakes that he have to correct. So it's not just before Rosh Hashanah, but before Rosh Hashanah it's very important. Before any three of the holidays we have to give tzedakah. So I'm not just doing the sidur, words. It's not only the tefillah, it's also I'm doing something that we say echad balev, echad bapeh. In Hebrew we say in the heart, in the mouth, the same. In English, someone told me, you say, put your money where your mouth. Okay, so it means a person have to do some action for it, because now he knows he's serious. Now I know he's serious. Okay, so without those three, person comes to Rosh Hashanah empty-handed, and it's not right to do it. Okay, so if a person doesn't have a chance to do it before Rosh Hashanah, you still have 10 days of tshuva. Don't forget, it's from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. We still can do it before Yom Kippur. Okay, because we have kaparot and all that. So, the minute we starting to understand more and more about Rosh Hashanah, Ashrei Ha'am Yodei Torah. We're going to recite it. We're going to say it while we're praying. What does it mean? Happy the nation that knows the blowing, not heard or hearing the blowing. Okay, it knows. Those are Ashrei, happy for those nation. Okay, so imagine it doesn't say what nation? Nation. So it could be any nation that wants to start being part of it. So when we really understand and we read the Zohar and we understand that, for example, here in Zohar, different Zohar, the other one, this one is Vayikra. Okay, we read Vayikra. Now I'm going to go to Zohar Emor. Okay, this is the portion that I was born. That's Emor. So it says in let's say Resh Hey. Okay, Resh Hey. Okay, so it says here in verse 205 clearly התשובה בקול שופר, שכתוב, that it's written, אשרי העם יודעי תרועה. You can read it if you have the Zohar, 205 in the portion and more. And then it says, מצווה היא לתקוע בשופר בראש השנה, שהוא יום הדין לעולם. It says, for the world. And then it says, שכתוב, תקעו בשופר בחודש שופר בכס ליום חגנו. We have to blow the shofar at the time of concealment in those 2 days of the holiday. מתכסה בו. דהיינו, it says שהוא יום הלבנה, המלכות. מתכסה בו. מלכות is concealed. Zir Anpin cannot shine. And we have to wake up Zir Anpin. And he says, you can read it 206. If you have the Zohar, if not, let me know, I can help you to get the Zohar. והעולם נמצא בדין, the world is in judgment, משום שהמקטרג, because the persecutor is the one that wants to persecute every person. So what does he do? מכסה ונועל הפתח. He's locking the door. There is no opening. What פתח? פתח על המלך שהוא זעיר אנפין. He's closing זעיר אנפין. Those levels, חסד גבורה תפארת נצח יסוד, closed. והלבנה, מלכות, the world that we live in, היא מקום שהדין שורה לתבוע דין על העולם. Now there is judgment on the whole world. And that's why we need to understand din al kol ha'olam. Again and again and again. It says, and if you read 207, זהו משגיח התובע על עוונות בני אדם. Okay, so all the people in the world, again and again. 209, again, kol ha'olam, all the world, all the people of the world. So we need to understand. We have mutual responsibility. There is no such a thing, disaster somewhere or destruction somewhere, nothing to do with each one of us. I'm not saying that each one of us, oh, I created the tsunami. No, but each one of us, accumulation of a lot of bad, negative energies can create disasters. And that's why we need to change it. So let's go at least to finish, so we have in our mind the consciousness of the shofar. The first 30 blowings, Abram is right column. It means the power of sharing. Chesed. Chesed is sharing, but it's also numerical value 72. It means all the 72 names of God, the tree of life. It means tikkun avodah zarah. It's the correction of idol worshipping. It means to remove any kind of slavery, addiction, anything that controls me. It doesn't matter what it is. Spiritually inside, anger, could be jealousy, it could be anything. And matter, and it could be I'm addicted to my body, it could be addicted to different kind of food, or even sex, or even physicality, properties, or whatever. We cannot be addicted to anything. I need to be in control. And we need to remember one thing when we do it also, the body being designated for the soul, not the soul for the body. So I need to control my body. Unfortunately, thousands of years, what do we see year after year? The body controls us. The reason why we have arguments 24/7 is because there is two kind of, we call it consciousness, but it's two kind of energies that fighting each other. One is matter, that's why we say mind over matter, means my mind supposed to be under my control, my soul, the light in me, Chelek Elokai Mimal, the part of God within each one of us have to be in control over the body, over physicality. I'm supposed to have physicality, yes, but it cannot control me. Every time you get upset over anything physical, it means it controls you. If you say Gamzu L'Tova, that's also, it's okay. I'm not upset. Then you getting higher level of yourself. You are starting to connect to your soul better and better. Another 30 blowing, okay? So don't forget to remove any idol worshipping from our lives. That's Abraham. The second one is Isaac, left column. Okay? Called Tikkun Gilui Arayot. It means anything to do with relationship. First, anything to do with jealousy. Because let's say relationship and let's say you have jealousy. The only way to love someone is the same time to let go of that person. If you cannot let go, you may be suffocating the person. That person might leave you. You have to understand. But when the person feels that he's not threatened all day long, where did you go? Where are you? You're like a police 24/7 that's sitting on my neck like a vampire. That's not love. Jealousy is supposed to be something that it's under my control. There's a lot of teaching about jealousy, and I did class about it, but it's not for today. But we have to remember that. I can't be lazy in my spiritual work because I have to care for my soul too, not only for my body. I have to make sure that my vessel is strong enough to handle many things. One of the things to know is patient, not to be impatient, to have patience, tolerance, human dignity, not hatred and not jealousy. Patient. This is the blowing of Isaac, Gilui Arayot. It means I have to do the best I can from my side on relationship. So many different relationships. So the way we work, we have labels. Here I'm better and here I'm not. It's a lie. If I cannot do it with someone, it doesn't matter who, it means with the one that I think I'm doing it, I'm playing. It's like a game. It's Hollywood. Because it's, look how simple it is. You see this cup? In this cup there is water. That's a vessel. If I have water in this cup and I want to share it with 10 people, the only thing that they can get is not gin or vodka. They get water because that's what I have. You can't give what you don't have. So if you say to yourself, I have good relationship here, 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 and here not, I have to understand something is wrong. I have to still work on myself. That's the blowing of Isaac. Please, you need to know at least when, that's why it says, Yodai, I know. Okay. You know what? I need to start doing it. The third one is Jacob. Central column. Central. Izun. Okay? It means not to whatsoever to do bloodshed, but not physical. Of course, physical we don't want to do, but bloodshed, it means hurting and offending other people. We're not supposed to do it. Okay? So it could be verbal kind of abuse. It could be physical abuse. We're not supposed to do it. This is the blowing. Why I have to do it? Let's say a person telling himself, I don't do it. So he doesn't listen to those blowing. He doesn't need to know anything. I said before, we're hurting people even if I don't know that I'm doing it. By the time that we know it, it's too late. We don't want to wait until it's too late. Come on. Don't ignore the light that gives us all the energies we need. So don't blow it for nothing. Central column is very important. It means right, left, central. The more central we are, the more balanced we are, the better it is. We all slightly off balance. If a person is a little bit more than slightly, you know what he have. He have that reverse jacket, the white jacket. if they put them in mental institution. That's when a person have only one column. Central column, I have the three of them. Okay, so hopefully we understand. I know there is so much to study, but we need to finish. We have David, the fourth, but now it's only 10. It was 30, 30, 30, now it's 10 blowings. It's to remove Lashon Hara, evil speech, from the roots of it, because Lashon Hara is connected to hatred for no reason. So I want to make sure that I'm not part of it. I want to meditate at the time of Rosh Hashanah. I want to be happier and more successful and all this. Now, I have to add something very important. Today, tomorrow, even half day of Friday, you can still think about what you have to correct, about judgment. In Rosh Hashanah, you cannot think about anything negative about yourself, because there is enough persecutor that's going to do it. We need to, let's say, other worshiping, instead of saying, I'm not, think like this, I'm not going to be under any influence of either worshiping, I'm free, I'm happy. Say good things about yourself and say that I am in control, I'm good. Say all the good things, the opposite. So if you want to prepare a list, so it's just going to be in your mind that you did it, you can do it. Don't take it with you to Rosh Hashanah. Just do it until Friday, because Friday night it's already Rosh Hashanah. You don't want to think negative. Please don't do it. From Rosh Hashanah, you have 10 days. The entire year is in those 10 days. Of course, the 2 days is very important, 10 days. After is Yom Kippur, and then we have a few days, and then we have Sukkot. If you look at all the days up to Simchat Torah, it's exactly 21 days. That includes the entire year. Why 21? Because God told Moses, tell the Israelites when they left Egypt, Ehyeh asher ehyeh. I will be for you whatever you want me to be. Ehyeh. But really it's a name of God. Aleph K Yud K. It's 21. It's a very high level name of God. It's 21 days. That's why this is 21 days. And we're going to have still class about Yom Kippur as we go, and we're going to have a class about Sukkot. But please start meditating on to love people, to make sure that we're going to make the transformation. The end of the first day, the end of the second day, there is one more blowing in the end, and altogether is 101, numerical value, Michael, the angel Michael, that will help us to be awakened, to see really, and to admit, and to know the value that I chose, the commitment that I took on myself, that I'm gonna do from now during the year, is gonna be connected to V'ahavtecha kamocha, to love someone else as you love yourself. Hillel says also another thing, same thing, the opposite. Whatever you hate that someone else is going to do to you, don't do it to others. מה ששנוא עליך, אל תעשה לחברך. Okay, so this is Rosh Hashanah. That's the blowing. Of course, there is so much teaching. We can do easily 8 hours. It's not going to be enough, but we covered most of it. So please, if anybody have any question, please do.
Sorry,
You can unmute yourself, yes.
Okay. What if someone can't hear the shofar? When we're in synagogue, is it for the rest of the world, or you must hear it in order for everything to be cleaned?
No, it's for the rest of the world, but we've been chosen to do it. There is, by the way, there is some people that are not Jewish that going. You know, if the synagogue let them in, either they know it or not, this is something else. But we need to know that mutual responsibility, that if I'm going to do it right, because I know Yodai Torah, then we're helping the world. You know, we can help even a city, and then every city there is people, and there is every city and there is a country, and that's how it goes. Circles, 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 circles.
Okay, but what if a Jew cannot hear it themselves? Well, let's say for some, this year COVID, I know so many people are not going to synagogue. Right. So what if?
So they need to pray at home. They need to know the sequences. They need to know the consciousness of the blowing. And they need to do the transformation like they are hearing the shofar. Yes. Because what's the most important? Some people hearing the shofar, there is no whatsoever any transformation. So what's more important? To hear the shofar, no transformation, or transformation without hearing? Okay. So, because what's going to happen in the end when we finish the Tikkun? Purim. No shofar, no holidays, no Shabbat, no nothing. So consciousness, it means mindset about myself, about my behavior, about the way I act, the way I do things, that I know what I have to change, what commitment to take, what value to add. The minute you add value, you're also adding value to your own kids and people around you.
And when I started having this consciousness, now let's say Rosh Hashanah is finished and it's the 10 days Yemei Teshuvah, am I still only supposed to think positive, or can I go back thinking about...
No, the opposite. Now, in Yom Kippur, you can think about all the negative you want. It's the day of light. So actually, when you bring the negativity to Yom Kippur, not to Rosh Hashanah, then the negativity is elevating with you to Binah. Binah is canceling the negativity because I'm coming with my all darkness. Rosh Hashanah, I don't want to bring my darkness. That's why we have a month of Tshuva before. Some people do the opposite, I'm sorry to tell you. Yes. Anybody else? It's okay if you don't have questions.
Hi, Ronnie.
Hi.
Hi. So I had a question about thinking of the negativity. I mean, when we do the blowing, don't we think of removing bloodshed? Like, that's kind of negative, isn't it?
When you look at the time of the blowing, if you think about the bloodshed, but you don't say it, you're not supposed to think about it. You're supposed to think, from now on, I'm taking on myself a value to love people in a higher level than I did before. That's what you have to think. It means, let's say you did it good, now I want to do it better. That's it. Yes, Arlene.
Yes, Ronnie, this particular Rosh Hashanah, there's no blowing of the shofar on Saturday, on Shabbat. So, I don't understand that. Could you explain that, please?
It's always on Shabbat. If there is, let's say, even Sukkot, you don't use the lulav, you don't use the shofar. It means Shabbat, it's higher, by the way, than the holiday.
Right.
So it's like Shabbat itself, the energy of Shabbat, it's even higher than the blowing. So you do the pray, you go to the sequences of the shofar without the blowing. So actually the Shabbat helps you to get a higher level even more than the shofar itself.
Are you going to recite the tekiah and everything? You're going to say it?
No, you don't say tekiah. You just say, look at the sequences. Now we're going through Abraham. Just scan it. Yes. We're not supposed to even read it. like Johnny. You're not supposed to even say it. You're supposed to think the opposite of what it says. Either worshiping, so say, I'm free. I'm in control. I have love in me. Instead of saying, I don't want the idol worshiping anymore. Don't go to, because the prosecutor anyway doing it. But in Yom Kippur, because it's the day of the light, you're supposed to bring the darkness with you, then the light removes it. It's different. That's why we really need to know that. This is very important to know.
All right, I'm going to really make sure I don't then.
I'm going to remind people, I'm going to say, let's start thinking this way instead of that way.
Right.
Yeah.
For evil speech, then I would say I'm only speaking good things from now on. What do I do for evil speech? How do we positive that?
It says words of life. Milim shel chaim, words of life. Because in Hebrew we say chaim ve'mavet b'yad hashon. We can say words that create death, and we can say words that create life. Which one we want?
Life.
Okay? It used to be a person, I think 2 years ago he died. I think he was Oriental, I forgot where, but he did all the research about water. And he used to say, you put a word on the water all night, and it depends what word. And then music, doing this and this. So the words that we say, you see, the whole thing about Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, it's all words. How can it be? But again, I'm saying, it's in the order of the Aleph Bet, most of the prayers. It means to know. Exactly as my words created disorder, it means chaos, now I'm using words to create order, to create balance. Same thing, by the way, in Passover. Say peh, sah. Sah, it means talk. And a sah numerical value is life, chaim, 68. So it means, again, it's all about that. It's all about chayuto, the level of chokhmah. It means the force of life that we have, that we don't even think about it on a daily basis, unfortunately. So when a person thinking about life, come on, only at the time that he's almost dying. So it means we take it for granted. I don't know how to do it.
What do you mean?
I have no idea. Okay.
You want to ask Yaakov?
So, guys, I really hope so. Whoever we're going to see, whoever we're going to, have the best Shana ever. And we really need it. And I'm telling you that this year, Tashin Pei Aleph, it's Pei Aleph, it's 81. This year it was Pei. It was not so good. 81, it means in the Hebrew calendar. Okay? It's a good year to come.
Okay.
Okay? So I know that we all wish and we want, but I read in few places that this year is supposed to be a really good year for every one of us. But let's also meditate for others. At the time of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, really think about people, and especially if you have a hard time with someone, give him some blessing. Because when we bless someone, we get the blessing first. Amen. And also, don't forget, if you have someone that have more than you, bless him more. Because the minute you bless the person more, you're connecting to the energy of blessing, because it says, "Mevarech mevorach," whoever you bless, you are blessed. If you curse, you've been cursed. So it's beautiful. So let's be a conduit of blessing for others. It means conduit means the blessing have to come through me to go to someone else. What's so bad about that, right? Okay. So guys, again, I'm here for you. Anything I can help. And I love you all. Have the best Shana, the best really, any good transformation that you're going to do. Share it with others on your social media and family, friends, or whatever. Come on, let's help each other to have a better year.
Amen.
Amen.
You are a genius. You are, God said, you are incredible. That was a powerful, powerful class you just had. Incredible. So deep and empowering. And beautiful class. Thank you so much, Rony. Beautiful, beautiful class. Amazing. Very.
Yes. We need to be strong, and we can be even stronger than we think if we really give ourselves this strength and we say, you know what, look, there is so many people that are going through so much. Look at me. I can do much better than that. And that moment.
You certainly, your
it.
words, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, your words were really piercing through me and you really reached me. So I thank you so much immensely.
You're welcome.
You reached out to me in so many ways and I thank you so much. Thank you 100 million times. Thank you so much. Thank you. You don't know. You have no idea. I blessed you. You have blessed me in so many ways. So I thank you.
We're gonna start crying now.
It's a good crying. It's crying from happiness. That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Shana
He's
Tova.
not the only one.
And
She's
always
not the only
remember,
one feeling
whatever I can, reach up.
Shana
Shana Tova. Shana Tova, Roman. Shana Tova.
See you next year.
Yes.
Thank you, Rony. Shana Tova.
Shana
Shana
Tova.
Tova to all.
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
Bye.
Bye.